Oh boy, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it is a bad part of the timeline and a bad way to start off 2026 for Browndust2. Unbelievable what is going on. I was not expecting them to respond the next day. I was expecting them to respond Monday, but they immediately responded the next day. And I'm just now seeing a lot of this stuff. I actually read through it, and I want to go over it with you guys. I have to say, censorship is never good because there's no end to where it could stop, right? And once you open the door, people get frantic and people go crazy. I mean, already in their response, I mean, if I reload, if I refresh this, it's probably got over almost 1,000 responses. We've got like over 5,000 posts on X about Browndust2 from people that don't play it, from people that casually play it, and people that know of it. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I've been seeing the Korean forums, I've been seeing Reddit. Everybody's pissed. Everybody's extremely pissed off, and we're gonna go over this whole thing. I'm gonna try my best to break it down because as someone that's been playing 2.5 years, there is some context lost here, right? So we're just going to break everything down fully. First off, I do want to say they're not trying to come out on Steam. They've never mentioned Steam at all, right? So that's the first thing I want to like shoot down. There's a lot of people that are saying, oh, they're doing this for the Steam version. No, they're not doing this for the Steam version, but we're going to get into why this is all happening because it's not looking good. So they started off by saying our explanation was insufficient and our wording was inappropriate. We sincerely apologize for the confusion and loss of trust this has caused. 1. Our decision regarding character designs and cutscene adjustments. Here we go. It is true that we received external warning requesting changes to certain in-game content. However, how we responded was ultimately our decision, and we take full responsibility for the outcome. We chose to comply because we were concerned that a service shutdown in one region could spread to other regions or platforms. The biggest issue, however, was that we made this decision without providing sufficient explanation. So all of that word salad that they gave us is essentially because they're afraid, and again, it pisses me off that they just don't say the region. Apparently, there was a threat of shutdown, and in order for this threat of shutdown to be stopped, these are the costumes that have to be changed, right? And we're going to get into each one, and I'm going to show you guys the cutscenes, or most of the cutscenes, right? Including the minigame too, because it's kind of ridiculous, right? So let's get into what's going on here. Medical Club Theresse, implications of being underage due to school uniform concept, touch interaction, and scenes that could be interpreted as abusive. So I want to tell you guys this right now. Theresse, the reason why Theresse is getting changed, and I said this in the last video, it's because of the theme of her costume, right? It's because she's a schoolgirl, and then in the interaction, which has a story, for those of you that don't know, you basically meet Theresse, and then you kind of start to like each other by the end of it, right? But Theresse essentially falls for you, right? And then the interaction that happens is that she's laying on a bed. And then we're basically helping her with her injuries. And for those of you that haven't seen it, here is her cutscene. This isn't the interaction. This is just her cutscene whenever you use her ability, right? So it's a cute, lewd cutscene. It is what it is. Browndust2 has way crazier cutscenes. So I want you guys to look at the wording here, right? Because this is important. Implications of being underage due to school uniform concept, touch interactions, and scenes that can be interpreted as abusive. Guys, like, the reason why this censorship shit is so bad is because there's a handful of costumes in this game that can be interpreted as abusive. If you guys don't know, Elise is a character we have in the game. This is her costume right here. Codename O Elise has an interaction where literally it's BDSM, right? So here's what's happening. I'm assuming that these are the specific characters and that nothing else is going to happen because that's what they said in this patch note, right? But I don't know that to be 100% true because, again, guys, what about Anastasia? What about Anastasia, right? Is she age inappropriate, right? Now, what about Glacia? Is she age inappropriate? And here's the funny part. They've already removed ages, but they're still changing these costumes because this was the request from whatever this region was, right? Like, is she age inappropriate? What about Rafina? Rafina is obviously I believe before they removed her age, she was 18. But what about this costume here? Her Gamer Club Rafina costume. You want to know why this could be seen as abusive? Because if you watch it, she plays a game where she's in it. It's an Arrowgate game. She gets surrounded by goblins, and a bunch of stuff happens on the screen that's implied with the hearts. So she's essentially playing an adult game, and she's the character in the adult game. Could that be looked at as abusive as they surround her? Right? Like, it's crazy to me that this is happening. And it really sucks to see that these implications are for these costumes. But what's even more scary is that it could possibly happen again. And they're saying it won't, but we don't know that. Right? We don't. We honestly do not. Okay. Pure White Blessed Rafitia. That's Rafitia in her bridal outfit. We already know the amount of just back and forth with that skin. We already know about this one, right? It just, oh my gosh. Okay, let's just keep going because I could go on a whole thing with Rafitia, right? But Nature's Claw row, White Cat row, Red Riding Hood row, which by the way, Red Riding Hood row and B rank idol Seir were omitted from the last live stream due to just negligence. They forgot to tell us. Guys, if you've never played this game, I'm going to show you Red Riding Hood row. I'm telling you guys, a lot of this stuff is so unnecessary, but I'm going to show you. This is Red Riding Hood row right here. Here's her costume, right? She's in a cute outfit. Here's her cutscene, bro. She says hello. She trips on herself. All of her food falls in her basket. That's it. Guys, how many games have we played where they have the cute little lolly characters in every single gacha game? But we have to pretend that this is an issue. Guys, there's nothing wrong with this. There's legit nothing wrong with this. I know there are people that don't like lollies. I get it. I'm someone that doesn't care for lollies myself, but I'm not going to over here and advocate them to be, taken away from the game or X'd out of any games that are in, coming out for Browndust2 or any other gacha game, right? Now, this one here, Stray Cat Row, this could be looked at as bad too, because if you click her cutscene, she's looking down at a city and she's legit falls off. This could be looked at as abusive because of how her character looks and how she is. Guys, this is, bro, I'm telling you guys right now, she jumps off a building. She jumps off a building. Is this not abuse? Is this not age inappropriate? Is this not a scared situation due to her facial expressions? What are we doing? What? She's crying. That's bad. Look, she looks worried. That's bad. Like, what are we doing, guys? Like, I'm telling you, this is insane. Guys, I'm telling you right now, the excuses that are being used is a bunch of bullshit, but they have to do it because this supposed region is going to be taking them off service, right? So I get the position that they're in, but they know, and for what they've promised to us throughout these years, this is bad. This is very bad. And the reason why it's bad, again, is because of the wording that they're using. There are multiple costumes that can be seen in the same light when it comes to this game. Like I just showed you, Stray Cat Row literally jumps off a building. That's not even like, she literally jumps down, right? So my thing is like, a lot of this is just, I can see why players are quitting. I can see why everybody's upset. I'm upset because this just means, even though you're censoring this, it could easily get worse. So, we have Seir, New Hire Seir, Demon Daughter Seir, B-Rank Idol Seir, abusive situation framing, fearful facial expressions, and revealing poses / outfits. Let's look at Seir, guys. Okay, oh boy, let's look at Seir. So here is Seir, right? We're gonna go through each costume for Seir. Here is her New Hire Seir. Right, this is where she's an intern in the contract story. She falls down, she clutches her umbrella gun, and she looks scared. And it's because of the fact that she comes off as age inappropriate, I guess that's the word I'm going to use, or like a childlike, that this is bad, right? But here's B-Rank Idol Seir. This is being changed. Guys, I can't, like, again, you could hate lollies. There's no reason for this. There's legit none. Right? Let's go to Demon Daughter. Right? She looks like she's getting scared. And like, so, okay, let's replay this, right? Because, again, The whole issue is abusive situation framing and then fearful facial expressions. So because Seir looks scared for her life, and it looks like she gets scared of the cat's own shadow, but then she gets scared anyway. It's like, guys, what do we, like, there's nothing, bro. I'm gonna sound like a broken instrument at this point, bro. I'm gonna sound like a broken record. And it's crazy that Browndust2 has to do this because they're not turning back, right? They're not reverting everything they said. They're going through with this, right? And I just wanted to show you guys this because this is what's going on right now, right? So if we keep going, added Red Riding Hood Row and B rank idol Seir, which were unintentionally omitted from the previous live stream among the contents for revision. Now, although there were various internal opinions and concerns raised, regardless of the process, full responsibility for the final decision lies entirely on the development team. So, again, guys, these are the costumes that apparently these have to change now or your game can't be in service, right? Because situations that they're put in. Like I said, guys, there's just a lot of implications that could be done from this. But we're going to continue, you know what, man? Let's continue. Okay, so apology for poor communication and lack of transparency. In our initial announcements, we failed to explain the situation clearly, which allowed speculation and misunderstandings to grow. This was clear communication failure on our part. As a result, we amplified concerns. Why did you make this decision? Exactly what will be changed? Will this happen again in the future? We sincerely apologize. Mistakes in our compensation and refund guidance. During the broadcast, we provided general refund guidance before our internal review and scope of the changes and compensation policy was complete. This was wrong in the approach, right? So we should have prioritized players who disagree with the character changes but still wish to continue playing, and we failed to do so. So here's the apology at gyms, right? So overall, for all players, for 8 costumes, you're getting 16,000 gems. And then if you own all 8 costumes, you're getting another 16,000 gems. And then on top of that, here are the refund options upon request. If you wish to request a refund, 13,400 free diamonds per costume upgrades. And then if all costumes are upgraded to +5, the accumulated total amount will be over 600,000 free diamonds. So that's what they're going to be giving you if you decide to refund. And if they had any magic crystals or tier goddesses, they will also be returned to you. Refund application process will be announced in a separate notice as soon as possible. If you request a refund, the corresponding costumes will be reclaimed after the diamonds are granted. Right, so basically, if you do this refund, hey, we'll give you 600k diamonds, and guess what? On top of that, we'll reclaim the costume. So they're going to take it away from you. For refunded costumes, the magic crystals and tier of goddess used on them will also be returned. If refund results in you no longer owning any costumes for that character, we will also return materials you used for awakening. Again, I really don't care about the apology gems and the refund policy. A lot of people are just going to say, F it, it's cooked, right? A lot of people will be leaving. This is bad, guys. Like, this is bad. Clear standards for the scope of future changes. To reduce ambiguity in how underage implications might be interpreted, we've removed the character age labels, which is so funny to me because, guys, we're going to get into Libera, right? But Libera is a character where they had to remove the gacha skin because they thought it was too much. But I remember this. On the live stream, they said that Libera, they wanted to change her to make her look more adult-like. Guys, this is Libera. No matter what you say, she has been an adult in this game. She's just a petite woman. That's it. So, a part of the reason why they made the changes to not go with the gacha skin for Libera, in the live stream, they omitted and said that some of it was due to her look. And I just, it worries me. But, however, they did say they're going to rerun it. But at what's the point, right? Because the trust is already gone. You said what you said in a previous one, and now you're saying this in the patch notes now, right? So let's just go over this, right? At the same time, we understand that people may interpret a character's appearance differently, and we fully recognize why this can feel unsettling. So it's not just about the age, but appearance-wise, To be clear, there are no plans to make any further changes to characters that are clearly recognized as adults. But, I mean, let's be honest. Are we going to get characters like a Libera, right? Are they going to have issues with making characters like her? Initially, no, because we've got, I mean, if you've seen the new character Grenadier, but it's still a worry. Will we get slender characters like Rubia? Initially, no, but again, it's still a worry, and this is the problem with censorship and how vague it can be, because they replied in the live stream yesterday saying that, oh, characters like Ruby are fine, and we obviously saw Grenadier, which is similar to Rafitia, but it's still a concern that is to be had. That's the problem here with this censorship stuff, man. It's bad. Now, doubt is everywhere, and a lot of people are leaving because once this happens, a lot of people think it's cooked, and to be honest, I don't blame them. I think it's cooked right now. A lot of these interpretations are dumb as hell. I cannot believe they're actually changing Red Riding Hood Row. There is nothing wrong with Red Riding Hood Row. Nothing. I'm about to play it again, but I'm gonna leave it alone. But it's just like, actually, no. I need you guys to realize that they're changing this because this is too much. Come on, dude. This is the most innocent. She's got little birds in her ears, bro. What are we doing, man? Anyway, let's keep going. Okay. Apology for the mainstream remark in our service direction. The term we used on stream, mainstream, was inappropriate regardless of our intent. It was the phrasing that could be easily misunderstood. To address the suspicion that this was done to pursue expansion to a specific country or major platforms, this is not the case. So it's not for Steam, guys. It's not for Steam. This was a choice made to. This was not a choice made to enter new markets. It was a response intended to avoid being restricted or removed from the regions and platforms that we're already operating in. In one breath, I do feel bad because obviously they have to do it, because I'm sure losing a market that they already have been in forever is an issue. Right? I get that. But the thing is, the way they went about this, one, dog shit terrible. They should have told us, guys, here's what's going on. We're getting removed from a market if we don't change this. And we need to change this because if we don't, it could have a domino effect and cause us to get off of every store. Now, no matter how you feel about that, at least that's them being full out honest and saying, guys, we don't know what to do, but we have to do this. I'm sorry. At least then they would get some type of slack. But because of the way they did this, now it's just all over the place. It seems like they're just doing things to cover shit up. It just looks bad overall. And that's the unfortunate part about this whole thing, man. It's just bad. So, while explaining the context behind our decision, we use the vague term mainstream in an attempt to prevent unnecessary misunderstanding. However, regardless of our intent, it ended up causing even greater confusion. Going forward, we will continue to maintain Browndust2's fun and sexy male-oriented direction, such as Wilhelmina's tights cutscene and Ventana's coffee bean cutscene. So basically, they're saying they're going to keep the adult aspect and the super lewd shit. And to be absolutely clear, if mainstream is understood to mean expanded to new major platforms or new regions with a broader audience, there is no reason for us to abandon our core identity for that purpose. We sincerely apologize again for the inappropriate wording. So, oh god, man, this is a lot. But I'm gonna break this down with you guys because this is big, right? This is just big. Okay, the decision regarding Libera's prestige skin. Now, we talked about this, but let's read it. Libera's prestige skin was originally planned around sensory deprivation being the keyword. The concept involved interaction with pink tentacles inside a jar. However, the final in-game presentation felt far more realistic and intense than the original concept art. Internally, some concerns were raised that the tentacle element in keywords that could be interpreted as an extreme fetish went beyond a simple question of how explicit is it. After seeing the animated version, those concerns became even stronger. We also recognize that we did not explain this clearly during the broadcast. So, full stop, real quick. So basically, guys, what they're trying to say here is they were going to go with the tentacle theme. Obviously, if you've read anime and manga, you know the whole tentacle theme. They were going with the ecchi / eroge tentacles, right? That like grab the female character and it wraps around them inappropriately. That's probably what they were going to do, right? And apparently some of the animations were going to be too intense. Guys, again, let's go back here. I'm going to show you something, and I got this pre-prepped. Look at this. This was what was going to happen to Libera, right? She was going to be in the jar, and then the tentacles would be wrapping around her. And here's the thing. I'm concerned about this because they may have saw this as abusive or inappropriate to be doing to this character. And then on top of that, like I told you earlier, it could be that Libera could be looked at as age inappropriate, right? Or childlike, even though she's not, right? And they keep saying like it was too much, it was too realistic, it was too intense. Guys, the interactions we have now in Browndust2, again, we have Elise in BDSM mode. We've got implications of sexual acts, but the tentacle monster that was supposed to be, and let's be honest here, guys, it was probably going to wrap around her body, wrap around her neck. It probably would have looked like she's implied to be doing sexual acts. It would have been wild, right? But they don't want to do it because of reasons. And again, in my personal opinion, I think these reasons are similar to why they to what they stated with Medical Club Theresse, or to what they stated with some of these other issues. Could be interpreted as abusive. I'm telling you guys, that's the reason. I don't like to spread misinfo, but this is my personal belief that the reason they cut it is because of how Libera looks and because they thought it would be too much. Like, what are we talking about, man? Okay. Anyway, we also recognize that hang on. We also recognize that we did not explain this clearly during the broadcast because the concept itself was very niche and heavy. We avoided stating it directly, but comments like it was too intense or we'll show it later were not appropriate. We apologize. We wanted to preserve Libera's overall design and cutscene, which is why we decided to provide the skin without interaction. However, we understand that this was difficult to accept for those who were looking forward to the interaction with Libera. Therefore, we have decided to withdraw the special skin planned for Libera and recreate it as a prestige skin with interactions, scheduled to be produced within the first half. So, they're bringing back the skin as a prestige skin, excuse me, and they're going to recreate it. I don't know, man. I just, like, if you deemed, here's the thing, if it's a completely different theme, I don't know. I just, the reason why this is such an issue for me is because it lets you know that there are, in their head, there's going to be acts of censorship, right? And they're also going to be worried about them being asked to remove other content again. So it's a catch-22 of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And I'm just worried for Browndust2, man, because this is already bad. Like, a lot of people are leaving, and I don't blame them at all. So about the number of pickups, I don't really care about this. They're basically having Grenadier go up to 4 weeks. First-person master perspective, again, I don't care about this as long as the story's good. I mean, listen, if the self-insert makes people read the story more, cool. I'm fine with it. Every other game that everybody plays in the gacha space has a self-insert character. So people getting mad that there's a self-insert, I don't care. Right? Now, we will rebuild your trust. And this is the final message. Any difficulties within the development team or internal circumstances are not something our players should have to bear. As developers, we should be judged by our results, and we fully accept that responsibility. Once again, we apologize. We understand that rebuilding trust will take time, especially given the concern around costumes and cutscene adjustments, the removal of the minigame, anxiety over story changes, and ongoing optimization issues. We will take full responsibility and follow through on each of the actions we have outlined one by one. As a sincere apology, we have prepared the following compensation. And they basically give us 100 draw tickets. Guys, as much as having tickets and these apology gems sounds great, this is just like, it's unbelievable, bro. It's absolutely unbelievable what's going on. I don't blame anybody that wants to leave the game. And by the way, the slap pop thing, unreal that this is being removed, because this was genuinely, whether you found it hard or easy, this was genuinely a fun game, right? And listen, I'll show it real quick, right? Essentially, it was a mini game where you basically pick a song and then you pick a girl's butt you're going to be slapping, and it's a rhythm game. That's it. And that could be looked at as abusive. Well, let's look. Depictions that could be interpreted as abuse. Guys, again, the reason that this is so suspicious is because we already have cutscenes and interactions where a character's butt is being slapped. What are we doing? I don't know, man. Listen, my final thoughts on this. I do understand that they have to do this or else a region will be completely gone. But how they went about it, number one, was terrible. Number two, it goes against a lot of what they were saying. And number three, it just, the implications that they're saying that, oh no, these are the only costumes that are going to get censored. We don't know that 100%. We really don't. I gave you guys multiple examples of other costumes that could easily get hit with the abusive stick or the age inappropriate stick or, I don't know, like just looking a certain way. It can't stop there, and it will not stop there, right? Anything could happen, right? For example, last example, guess what? We have Eustia in a schoolgirl outfit. Here's her cutscene. Whoever they're trying to appease, they could easily go back and be like, oh, by the way, can you remove that Justia thing there? Didn't know she was a schoolgirl. Can you remove that? Like, again, we'll have to see, guys. We'll have to see what's going on. But listen, man, people are leaving. People are upset. And I'm extremely upset myself. I really don't know what to think. I'll definitely be going live to talk about this. But that's it for me, man. I don't want this video to be any longer. I'm out, guys. Thanks for watching. Later.